I'm gonna put this over here. Let's see if it captures both of us.
Oh, I see. Oh, so you want to, okay. Oh, okay.
All right, am I in there? Okay, and then let me bring the pictures.
Sure,
Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. They just need to, like I said, go over a couple things.
sure.
So also, I will need like a lesson plan. Okay. Oh, it's already recording.
Okay.
Okay. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for volunteering to work with me and allow me to observe you and just learn from you. So, first of all, we want to kind of discuss some goals or what the purpose for your classroom lesson will be for tomorrow and decide upon two elements for the CS TPs. Okay, so if we can do that, then I'll go into what will actually happen tomorrow, if that's okay. So just in looking at this, there are the various standards that they have.
Mhm.
I know in your pre-interview you discussed that engagement is very important,
It's the most important thing.
most important thing for languages. So, just looking at the CSDPs, are there any particular that you will be focused on tomorrow during your lesson?
Well, the ones that look more prominent in standard one is the 1.2, connecting learning to students' prior knowledge, backgrounds, life experiences, and interests. And 1.3, connecting subject matter to meaningful real life contents. So those have been the focus among several others
Hmm.
in the past week or so.
Okay.
You will be in a classroom that is a combo class. Actually, there are four classes in one. You have the AP Language and Culture, and we follow the five themes, and you also have the IBHL1. Also in the same class, you have the literature portion of it, which is AP Literature, and we deal with literature. We just finished reading a novel, and also the IBHL2. So you have a combo class of four.
Wow.
And what you will see tomorrow,
Hmm.
what you will see tomorrow will be a culmination of the activities that they have done in the past week or so. In groups. Group activities are extremely important as well.
Okay. Nice.
And everything is conducted in the target language, although some of them are not up to a certain level,
Hmm.
but it's okay. You will see that everyone will participate. Everybody knows that the ultimate concern in the class is the oral part, and then followed by the writing, and of course, with it comes that listening. So that's what you will witness tomorrow. Actually, it worked out very well because we always prepare, and then whenever we're ready, it happens to be on a Wednesday now, Wednesday and Thursday, then we continue. So it's not always on a Friday or Monday.
Okay. So then, would I be able to get a lesson plan? And then also, too, I would like to see maybe like a list of your students, like a seating chart,
Yes, yes.
so that I can see like the students that are.
I'll make a copy of
Mhm.
you. As you can see here, I have them in groups of four.
Okay.
So there's a four, 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 a little bit space from one another so that they have time to um, work in the groups. And we now have wonderful seating outside.
Oh, nice.
It gets a little cold in here, a little freezing actually. And so I can send the students out and they already know their own pattern,
Right.
what they need to do. And each one of the groups has a leader, just a name, but they can do it. And if a student is absent whenever there are presentations, then the group still goes on
Mhm.
and they pick up each other's pieces. And then
Okay.
later on, the student makes it up in some form.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
this is a
then
copy of it.
with that list, am I able to identify students that may be with disabilities or EL students or LTEL students? Am I able to get that identification as well?
I don't have it here,
Okay, we can. I can just.
but yes, we have some newcomers from Cuba,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and it's this young lady, and then we have some English learners
Hmm.
that are in different levels, and those are in this group.
Okay.
The way that I have it pair up is that I have some very strong candidates. So this is the fruit of after a month of observation with different students to see who are that have certain strengths and who has certain limitations, and then pair them up in that way. And this here are all the literature students.
Okay. Well, maybe when I take a copy, then I can ask the front office to give me the other information, so I'll be prepared for tomorrow.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So from you, I'll need a lesson plan, the staging chart, and then the student work. What's going to be the final presentation, or what's the final product of tomorrow's lesson?
Each one has a different article that comes from Latin America and dealing with recycling, dealing with special banks to help poor people create their own businesses, also dealing with demographics and density and how density comes around. And let me see what other ones. Good manners as an important value in Latin America. And then for literature, they just finished reading a piece from the 15th century in 7 chapters, and they're putting it together. The culmination is to talk and show that they understand the ideas that come with the AP, which is 5 themes, and now the IB also has 5 themes instead of 7. So it's for them to talk and to show knowledge. They are allowed to use notes, but just as a reminder, not to read. And they were going to use PowerPoint presentations, but I told them not to because I changed that part so that you will see them speak. The class is 100% in Spanish. Okay. In the beginning, there were little adjustments, but for the past month or so, 100% Espanol.
Okay. And then, so once they speak, how how are you grading? Yeah, what are you looking for? Is there a rubric that students are following?
It's just a very simple. Due to the pandemic, I reduced the complication. Instead of using a number system of 10, I just reduce it to 5. Because some students, even at this level, there are gaps.
Okay.
And I have to supply some, help them fill in those gaps, whether it's in reading and what have you. So it is a very simple 15-point rubric of 5, 5, and 5.
Okay.
Yeah. 5, very, very simple. The vocabulary that they use that is relevant to the subject. Like, for example, if they're talking about banks lending money to poor people, they have to use that vocabulary. 2, the pronunciation of that vocabulary, making sure that they're pronouncing it well. And number 3, the phraseology and the theme.
Okay.
So there will be an introduction, a body, and a conclusion to the presentation. This is their 3rd, 4th presentation.
Okay.
This is a little bit more elaborate than others. So
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I might not understand everything, but I can't wait to see it.
Well, you need to learn Spanish too.
Right? That would be my 3rd language. I'm working on them. I'm building.
So which one is your second one?
My first one actually is American Sign Language.
Okay.
Second one is English, and then 3rd, and of course I grew up here, so my Spanish is limited. So I need to be able
Turn it around.
to level up.
Well, just one more comment. As a native Spanish speaker, it still floors me a little bit to realize that English speakers don't speak Spanish. And the simple reason is that the Latin/Spanish influence in the English language is overwhelming. So whenever you see words that, oh yeah, we have that word, and in English, 99.9% of the time, is Latin/Spanish influence to English.
Of course.
There's very, very little influence of English and Spanish. Yeah, well, we have some like, okay.
That doesn't count.
And some of that nature. So actually, it is very simple language to learn. You just need to put the effort and the pronunciation, and that's it. And then you'll be okay. But anyway, I digress.
No worries. Okay, so that's great to hear. So then, if I can get a copy of your lesson plan, and then the student work. Well, maybe I can get a copy of a couple of the articles, maybe, just so I can see
Sure.
that too.
I actually have, yes. Let's see. show you an example. Okay. See, this is like empresas sociales. This is lending money to social groups. And if you see the number 2015, okay, these are articles that were studied in 2015 from students in Central America and Southern Mexico and Northern South America.
Okay.
So this is from that year. And as you can see, so this is, and this one is obesity,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which is also an issue there, and good food and what to do and that kind of stuff. You can see in this other population density is also, so this is what students have studied in Latin America as part of the social science or any of their other subjects. So
Okay.
yeah, so I can get you a copy. And this is really interesting how this university, Descalzos makes reference to that there are still a lot of people that don't have shoes. They have sandals. They never wear a pair of shoes. And what is it that these people do? Like in the introduction, there was this one lady who's 42 years old, and she still doesn't know how to read or write, but she installs in Central America. She installs solar panels.
Wow.
Yeah. Rosa is her name,
Mm-hmm.
and she knows everything about the wires and everything. So hands-on. So she doesn't have to pay $1 million to go to a university, and she is doing it. And she's
Yeah.
teaching others. And she doesn't know how to read or write, or at least as of this article.
Right.
So anyway, so I can give you a copy, but you can say it's normally 2 to 4 pages long, very accessible,
Mhm.
large letters. Okay, and the vocabulary is at age level from 9 to 12th grade.
Okay. Nice.
And these are official documents from Central America, Southern Mexico, and Northern South America.
That's wonderful.
So this is, so I can give you any of them.
Sure.
Okay, so you see, aprovechando la basura, how to recycle, las buenas costumbres, good habits, empresas sociales. I'll give you all those.
Oh,
So
okay.
that you can take a look at it.
Okay. And so
And-
students will be presenting about these ones. to me.
About one of those.
What about these?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
each group has a different one.
Okay.
So they did not discuss the contents with each other.
Mhm.
They're going to be teaching the class in essence,
Good.
informing them.
That's
Okay.
good to get that student voice.
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow, what I'll do when I come to observe, I'm like, where would be the best place for me to sit actually, so I'm not really disturbing.
If you want to sit over there,
Okay.
okay. Well, this is the seating chart which I'll have ready for you. Don't you have to? Okay, so you can sit over here. Okay. Well, actually, it's over here. There's a 4C.
Okay.
Like, or you can sit there. You know, let me see. Right then. So wherever you feel more comfortable. Okay. All those empty spots are okay.
Okay.
So I'll have this, and you just come. I just informed them today that we're going to have visitors.
Okay.
Okay, in the plural.
A visitor.
I said visitors. Okay.
Just me.
So should we introduce ourselves? I said, no, just ignore the people. Just do what we have been doing, and that's it. Okay. Just remember, this is a formal or semi-formal presentation because we have been dealing with informal, semi-formal.
Ooh.
Later on, with the PowerPoints and all that, then it'll be a different formal.
Mhm.
And it will be strictly timed. This one is around 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because I want to capture more of the way they're doing the formal process.
Okay.
So there was a lot of ad lib there too. It's not you're going to march to this step. Okay? Again, taking into account that a lot of the students did not see the classroom in 2 years,
Right.
and we're kind of sliding into some kind of normalcy, and the kids are responding. So, but there are different levels of preparedness in the classroom. You will see it when you hear them.
I'm very excited. Okay, so then tomorrow I'll come in. I'll take a seat in the back.
And I'll have the lesson plan for you.
You have a lesson plan for me. Thank you. I already have the articles, and I'm going to be recording as well again, just so I'm able to look back. I'll also be taking notes too, just to make sure that I am capturing, what's happening. So just so you know what I'll be doing as well, and then that's tomorrow. So then on Thursday we'll meet again during the same time,
Okay,
and I'll just tell you what I've observed and ask any questions to help
sure,
me understand a little bit better.
sure.
So that would be the plan for this week.
Okay, well, I've cer- I have recommendations for you as a future administrator.
Sure.
One of the recommendations is that when you become an administrator and you are overseeing a department, talk to the department head so that you will know the framework. Come to the classroom prepared with a framework. And the frameworks, although they're a couple of hundred pages long, sometimes the fundamentals are very simple to capture, so that you will know what to capture in the classroom. Being a department head,
Mhm.
I can tell you what you can expect. As I said, that the oral is the most significant aspect of it, particularly in Spanish, because what you hear is more or less how you pronounce it, and when you're writing, you're searching the echoes in your head so you can write it. And the correlation between speaking and writing is so close, minus a couple of things that you just have to kind of learn. But that would be one of my recommendations. So normally as assistant principals, you have two or three, sometimes four departments under you.
Right.
So know the framework. Like this, you will know what to expect, and it's like different lenses to the classroom. What you will see tomorrow also in the classroom is more or less the final preparation of the bread. We are foregoing everything else, like going to the fields and getting the grain, and then making it into powder and water. All of those things have been done. So you're gonna get to smell the bread and taste a little bit of it tomorrow,
I
if
love
it
it.
makes sense.
No, definitely. I love it. Yeah, you guys have been working on it, so now I get to see the fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
and I think that you will enjoy it. These are good kids. Let me see. We have kids from Cuba, from Central America, from South America, and Mexico, the majority. Some of them are two generations here now.
Hmm.
And the socio-economic situation is all over the place. You don't have any wealthy people in the class, but as I mentioned to you, I've been here since 1982, 83, and the hopes and dreams of the kids are the same of the hopes and dreams of the people that I met in 1982, 83. They want to succeed.
Yes.
So that's what you will see. Okay?
Great. All right. I think that's everything. So I look
Okay.
forward to it.
Okay,
Again, I
yeah, no.
appreciate you letting me into your classroom. So thank you so
Um,
much.
Anything, Dr. Sidhu came over and then said, look, I have this issue. Can you do it? Sure.
That easy, right?
I was helped tremendously when I got started a long time ago by Walter Valadez, the gentleman that I told you.
Hmm.
And I always listened. And so he was extremely helpful, and still his teaching from 40 years ago plus are still relevant for me,
Yes.
minus the technology and all that stuff. So
Oh, that's okay. Very good. I can pause.